How is this even possible? Freddie Freeman, one of the most consistent and productive hitters in Major League Baseball, is somehow being left out of some best first baseman rankings, and fans are stunned. He's a cornerstone of the Dodgers lineup, a World Series champion, and a top-tier performer year after year. Yet despite his .378 OBP and elite defensive presence, some experts are snubbing him in their top lists. Is this a case of disrespect? Media bias? Or just a total oversight? Let's break down the shocking truth behind Freddie Freeman's underrated status and why he deserves way more credit. Before we dive into today's hot topic, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more in-depth MLB breakdowns, power rankings, trade rumors, and everything you need to stay ahead of the curve in the world of baseball. You don't want to miss what we've got lined up, especially when we're diving into names that stir up debate like no other. And speaking of controversy, let's talk about Freddie Freeman. Yes, that's right, Freddie Freeman, the cornerstone of the Dodgers infield, the man who's been a consistent offensive and defensive powerhouse for over a decade, and yet somehow, there are still people out there claiming he's not among the best first basemen in the league. That's not just questionable, it's flat out wrong. Let's break this narrative down and expose the reality behind one of the most underrated storylines heading into the 2025 MLB season. First of all, let's talk numbers. Because when it comes to baseball, the numbers never lie. In the 2024 season, Freddie Freeman posted a stellar .378 on-base percentage. That's elite by any standard. He also smashed 22 home runs and drove in 89 runs. These aren't fluke numbers. They're not inflated by weak competition. They are the results of a seasoned veteran who still plays at an all-star level every time he steps up to the plate. And these stats aren't just good, they're among the very best at his position. Yet some people are still trying to downplay his relevance in a league filled with rising stars and flashy new names. That's where we step in to set the record straight. When we look at the rankings for the 2025 MLB season from multiple reputable sources, a very different picture starts to emerge. First up, we have one of the most respected analytical outlets in baseball placing Freddie Freeman as the #1 first baseman heading into the 2025 season. That's right, #1. They didn't mince words about it either. They highlighted his all-around production, including that .378 OBP we just mentioned, along with his 22 home runs and 89 RBIs. These are not just solid numbers, they are elite numbers for a first baseman, especially one who also brings veteran leadership and postseason experience to the table. And that's just one source. Fox Sports, another trusted voice in the MLB community, ranked him at #3 among first basemen, citing his impressive 2024 line of .282/.378/.476. But they didn't stop there, they also projected him to improve in 2025 with a projected line of .298/.384/.492. Those are MVP caliber numbers. That's not a slight upward trend, that's a statement. And when you consider how difficult it is to sustain that kind of production in today's game with high-velocity arms and advanced defensive shifts, it becomes even more impressive. Fantasy Pros, one of the go-to sources for anyone playing fantasy baseball, also placed Freeman at #3 in their 2025 fantasy rankings for first baseman. Now, fantasy rankings aren't just about popularity, they're driven by hard stats, consistency, and expected outcomes. And Freeman, with his consistent year-to-year performance and high floor, fits the bill perfectly. He's not a boom or bust guy. He's someone you can pencil into your lineup every day knowing he's going to produce. That kind of reliability is rare, and it's one of the key reasons he remains a top-tier player even as he moves deeper into his 30s. But we're not done yet. Let's go even bigger. ESPN's MLB rank for 2025 didn't just limit itself to positions, it ranked the top players across all of Major League Baseball. And where did Freddie Freeman land? Number 12. That's right, number 12 out of hundreds of players in the league. That includes pitchers, outfielders, infielders, DHs, you name it. That's elite company, folks. When you're ranked that high across the entire league, it's not just because of your offensive numbers. It's because you bring the total package: offense, defense, leadership, postseason experience, and clubhouse presence. Let's not forget what Freeman did in the postseason. The Dodgers' run in the 2024 playoffs was driven in large part by Freeman's clutch performances. He didn't just show up, he dominated. His presence in the lineup gave opposing pitchers nightmares. He was the guy pitchers didn't want to face in late innings with runners on. His ability to deliver in big moments is something that doesn't always show up in regular season stats, but you better believe it matters when the games count the most. And that's part of why it's so baffling to hear people downplay his impact. We're not just talking about a solid regular season contributor. We're talking about a proven postseason performer, a World Series champion, and one of the most respected veterans in the game today. Freddie Freeman isn't just a first baseman, he's a leader. He's someone younger players look up to. He sets the tone in the clubhouse. He plays the game the right way, every single day. And let's not ignore the fact that first base isn't just about offense. Defense matters too. Freeman has won a Gold Glove and continues to provide rock-solid defense at first, saving runs and making plays that don't always show up in the highlight reel but make a huge difference over the course of a 162-game season. Now, some critics might argue that there are younger, flashier first basemen coming up who deserve more attention. And sure, the league is always evolving. There are new stars rising every year. But here's the thing: being new doesn't mean being better. Being younger doesn't mean being more productive. Freddie Freeman has not just kept pace with the younger generation, he's outperformed many of them year after year. Longevity and consistency are rare in professional sports, especially at a position that demands so much both offensively and defensively. Take a step back and look at the full body of work. You've got a guy who continues to put up elite numbers, who is trusted by some of the smartest minds in baseball, who is ranked among the top players not just at his position but in the entire league, and who continues to deliver when it matters most. If that's not one of the best first basemen in the game, then what is? The disrespect some analysts throw Freeman's way feels more like an attempt to generate clicks than a serious critique based on facts. Because when you look at the facts, when you examine the rankings, when you dive into the stats and listen to the experts, one conclusion becomes crystal clear: Freddie Freeman is still at the top of his game and belongs firmly in the conversation as one of the best, if not the best, first baseman in Major League Baseball. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Stay locked in, and we'll see you in the next one.